Daf Yomi, Tractate Bava Batra, page 154a, top of the page is the words Raya B'mai. Rav Huna Amar Raya Be'edim, Rav Chizda V'Rabba Bar Rav Huna Amri Raya B'Kiyum Hashtar. The Gemara asks, with regard to the proof that the recipients must bring, in what manner is it brought? Rav Huna says, the proof is presented by bringing witnesses who testify that the giver was healthy. Rav Chizda and Rabba Bar Rav Huna say the proof is presented by the ratification of the deed. In other words, the recipients are required only to ascertain that the signatures of the witnesses on the deed are authentic in order to prove that it is not forged. Rav Huna Amar Raya Be'edim Ka Miflagi Beplukta de Rabbi Yaakov Rabbi Nassan. The Gemara explains, Rav Huna says that the proof is presented by bringing witnesses. He maintains that Rabbi Meir and the rabbis disagree with regard to the issue that is the subject of the dispute of Rabbi Yaakov and Rabbi Natan in the Braita, 153b. Simon is Maniach, Rabbi Meir, Rabbi Natan, Rabbanan, Rabbi Yaakov. The Gemara notes a mnemonic device that indicates which Tanaitic opinions are correlated. Maniach, which represents the letters Mem, Nun, Yud, Ches, stands for Meir, Natan, Yaakov, and the rabbis, Chachamim. This indicates that Rabbi Meir, who says that the giver must bring proof that he was on his deathbed, holds in accordance with the opinion of Rabbi Natan, who maintains that one presumes that the current situation reflects the situation at the time the gift was bestowed, and the rabbis, who say that the recipients must bring proof that the giver was healthy, hold in accordance with the opinion of Rabbi Yaakov. Rav Chizda v'Rabba Bar Huna Amri Raya B'Kiyum Hashtar K'miflagi B'moed B'shtar Shekasvu Tzarech L'Kaimoi Rabbi Meir Savar Moed B'shtar Shekasvu Eino Tzarech L'Kaimoi Rabbanan Savri Moed B'shtar Shekasvu Tzarech L'Kaimoi. Rav Chizda and Rabba Bar Rav Huna say that the proof is presented by the ratification of the deed. The Gemara explains Rav Chizda and Rabba Bar Rav Huna maintain that Rabbi Meir and the rabbis disagree with regard to whether, when there is a debtor who admits that he wrote a promissory note, the creditor must ratify it in court in order to collect payment. The same ruling would apply to a case where the person on his deathbed admits that he wrote the deed granting the gift. They explain that Rabbi Meir holds that when there is a debtor who admits that he wrote a promissory note, the creditor need not ratify it in court in order to collect payment. And in this case, the giver cannot invalidate the deed by claiming that he was on his deathbed. But the rabbis hold that even when there is a debtor who admits that he wrote a promissory note, the creditor must ratify it in court in order to collect payment. The Gemara asks, but didn't they already disagree with regard to this matter once? As it is taught in the Braita, with regard to two witnesses who ratified their signatures but claimed at the time they signed the document they were not fit to bear witness, their testimony is not deemed credible to invalidate the document. This is a statement of Rabbi Meir, and the rabbis say that their testimony is deemed credible. Tzricha di et marahi bahi kari rabbonon mishum dalima edim umerei shitro shtora avan hocha hu delo komine emalo. The Gemara answers, it is necessary to state both cases, because if only that case with regard to witnesses who is qualified or testimony was stated, one might think that the sage is saying that their testimony is accepted only in that case, due to the fact that the testimony of witnesses is powerful and they can impair the validity of the document. But here, with regard to him, the giver, who admitted that he wrote the deed, but it is not in his power to impair the validity of the deed, I would say that his claim is not accepted. V'i et mar baha. And if, only in this case with regard to a debtor who admits that he wrote a promissory note was stated, one might think that Rabbi Meir says that the giver cannot invalidate the deed only with regard to this case, but with regard to that case, where the witnesses ratified their signatures, I would say that Rabbi Meir concedes to the rabbis that witnesses can invalidate the deed. Therefore, it is necessary to state the dispute in both cases. V'chein, Amar Rabba, Raya be'edim, Amar le'abaya, my time, inema midechulu kasibahu, kad havi mehalech al ragloi, v'shuka, uveha lo ketiv ba, shma mina, shchir mira havi, ad rabba midechulu katibahu, kad katsir urmi barse, v'hala ketiv ba, shma mina, briyava. And Rabbah also says, with regard to the proof that the recipients must present, it is presented by bringing witnesses who testify that the giver was healthy. Abaye said to him, what is the reason for this? If we say that due to the fact that in all deeds of gift the following formulation is written, when he was walking on his feet in the marketplace, which indicates that the gift was the gift of a healthy person, and in this deed this was not written, therefore one may conclude from the deed that the giver was on his deathbed. That is not correct. On the contrary, one could say that due to the fact that in all deeds concerning the gifts of a person on his deathbed, the following is written, when he was sick and lying in his bed, and in this deed this was not written. Therefore one may conclude from the deed that the giver was healthy. Rabbah replied, since one can say this and one can say that, nothing can be concluded from the formulation of the deed. Therefore, due to the uncertainty, establish the property in the possession of its last owner. And this dispute is with regard to the statement of the rabbis is also the subject of a dispute between other Moraim, as Rabbi Yochanan says the proof is presented by bringing witnesses, and Rabbi Shimon ben Lakish says the proof is presented by the ratification of the deed. Eis ve Rabbi Yochanan Rabbi Shimon ben Lakish. Ma'is b'nei Brak, ve'echad shemachar b'nechsei aviv, v'meis uba'u b'nei mishpacha. Yeriru loima, katan haya b'shas b'niso, uba'u v'shianu es Rabbi Akiva, mahu livdoko. Amar lahem, in yatem rashmoim lenavloi, ve'od simanin asuin nishtanois achal miso. Rabbi Yochanan raised an objection to Rabbi Shimon ben Lakish from a Braita. There was an incident in Bnei Brak involving one who sold some of his father's property that he had inherited and he died. And the members of his family came and contested the sale, saying he was a minor at the time of his death, and therefore the sale is not valid. The sale was not valid. And they came and asked Rabbi Akiva, what is the halacha? Is it permitted to exhume the corpse in order to examine it and ascertain whether or not the heir was a minor at the time of his death? Rabbi Akiva said to them, it is not permitted for you to disgrace him for the sake of a monetary claim. And furthermore, signs indicating puberty are likely to change after death, and therefore nothing can be proved by exhuming the body. And now, for the Zohar reading, we are in Parshat Toldot, Zohar Toldot, and we were in the middle of page 136a with the portion that starts with Isaac discoursed on the verse. Rabbi Isaac discoursed on the verse, the sun shineth forth, and the sun cometh in, and hasteth to his place, where he ariseth. It's in Koheles 1:5. Right. The sun shineth forth, Ecclesiastes 1:5. The sun shineth forth from the supernal place where he is established in order to cast his luster on the moon, which only reflects the light of the sun, and cometh in order to join the moon. He goeth toward the south, which is on the right, and which therefore his strength reposes. For all the strength of the body is on the right side. And then turneth about to the north, in order to impart light both to one side and to the other. Further, the wind turneth about continually and in its circuit. Although the text here speaks of the wind and not of the sun, yet it is all one and has the same inner meaning. All this is that the moon may be illumined from the sun, and the two may be associated. Observe that when Abraham appeared in the world, he embraced the moon and drew her near. When Isaac came and took fast hold of her and clasped her affectionately, as it says, his left hand under my head, Simolo Tachat Roshi, which would be Shir Shirim 2:6. But when Jacob came, and the sun joined the moon, and she became illumined, so that Jacob was found perfect on all his sides, and the moon was encircled in light and attained completion through the 12 tribes. Rabbi Judah discoursed on the verse, behold, bless ye the Lord, all ye servants of the Lord. This is Psalms 136, I think, verse 1. 136? Maybe it's 134. Trying to tell with these Roman numerals. Anyway, it's around there. This verse tells us, he said that only those who are truly worthy to bless the Almighty, who are the servants of the Lord. It is only those who are truly worthy to bless, who are the servants of the Lord. For although it is true that every Israelite is regarded as fitted to bless the Almighty, yet only the servants of the Lord are worthy to offer those benedictions, from which is effused blessing in the upper and lower worlds. And 136b, and we'll stop there.